Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. Time now to welcome in UND head coach Brad Berry from inside Ralph Engelstad Arena to talk about yet another series sweep for the #1 team in the country. Brad, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Alex.
After back-to-back series on the road, you and your team returned to Grand Forks this past weekend against Colorado College. You picked up 2 more wins, albeit in different fashion from one night to the next.
Yeah, I thought we had a pretty good week of practice. We had a pretty good focus coming into Friday night. We ran into a team that, lost the last 4 games in a row. They played a desperate game. They played a really strong defensive game, and saying that they were waiting for, opportunities to try to score, and, they packed it in and around their net. And I thought we did a good job of having possession, playing in their end of the rink. It was a scoreless game going into the third period, and again, every game is different. But the main thing is we found a way to win on Saturday through a power play goal, which special teams are so important at this time. And then, on Saturday, kind of a different type of a game. Made a couple adjustments offensively. Got a couple goals early, got a power play goal early, and never looked back. So it's nice that you can try to find a way to win on 2 different ways.
Certainly. You made the decision early in the week to go with Peter Thome in goal for the first game of a series for the first time this year. Talk about the choice to hand Peter the start on Friday night.
Well, he's built a body of work, even though it's a short body of work, from the opportunity that he's got given to him to help us get a chance to win. And again, it's one of those things where he's worked extremely hard through his time when he wasn't in the net to get him to be sharp and get him into a chance to help us, get some wins over the weekend here. So I think it's the biggest thing is, he's getting opportunity at this time. We firmly believe we have 2 very good goaltenders here that can go in the net at any time with him and Adam Scheel. And, it's just a case in point of somebody that's playing well at this time.
Well, he certainly is. Thome only gave up 1 goal all weekend, and he's now just conceded 3 times in the last 3 games. He's been great, but so is the defense in front of him during this winning streak. What have you done as a team to tighten things up in recent games?
I think basically just the details in our game. I think it's one of those things in the offensive zone of, trying to score goals, but having good support. We call it layers, having good layers back through the neutral zone, and then finally in the defensive zone on closing on players, not giving them time and space, and making sure that we support each other, and just 6 guys out on the ice playing together as a team mostly.
You mentioned it earlier, Game 1 decided on a third-period power play goal from Shane Pinto after the initial shot from Weston Machad caromed off Tiger goalie Matt Vernon's head off the boards and into Shane's path. 1 year after getting 0 puck luck, it has to feel good to be the recipient of those type of bounces, which your team has had a hand in creating more often than not this year.
Yeah, I think it is a tale of 2 years. Where, I think a little has to go with the puck luck, but I think even more importantly is you got to create your own puck luck. What I mean by that is, anytime there's chances around the net, you got to stay in those hard areas, and you got to try to find a way to battle and, get a puck to the back of the net. And I thought on that power play opportunity, we found a way to get an initial shot, and Shane Pinto got to an area where he stayed in and got a stick on a puck and found a way to score a key goal, the game-winning goal. So, yeah, a little bit of puck luck, but also, having the mentality to make sure that puck luck goes in.
You would follow up Friday's 1-0 win with an 8-1 rout of CC in game number 2. What led to the offensive onslaught on Saturday, Brad?
Well, just talking about it through Saturday morning, having a meeting, making a couple adjustments, what we had to do, with the puck, and then just talking through it as far as trying to bust down the door early and try to get one early, and that gave us momentum. We also talked about too that if we're in a game where it's not going in the back of the net, but you're still doing the right things, to have patience in your game, that you got to believe and trust each other to do it as a 5-man unit on the ice, and not everybody trying to do it on their own. And I thought our guys did a good job of focusing on that early to get a couple goals early to lead us on the way to the win.
Nearly everybody got on the score sheet Saturday, with Jordan Kawaguchi leading the way once again. 2 more goals and 2 more assists over the weekend for Jordan, have him at 41 points for the season. That's 2nd most in the nation right now. Where does his performance so far this season rank among some of the great years you've seen in your time at UND?
Yeah, you know what, he's I think the biggest thing you compliment you can give a player is the word consistent, playing with consistency, and he's done that all year. And it's not just the his actions on the ice on scoring goals and assists. you know, it's his defensive play too, you know, making sure that he's one of our top plus-minus leaders, you know, working hard in practice, you know, saying the right things on the benches at the right times when we're chasing games, on sending that message, not just the coaches talking about it, but he's a big leader on our bench on making sure that we play a team game. So, you know, he's done a lot of things, wore a lot of hats this year, and that's what leaders do.
He's been phenomenal this season. Saturday's result was the most emphatic win you've had since Christmas. How important was scoring such a decisive victory like this as you head into the bye week?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, I think one of the things, I think we lead the nation in goals for, and we're right down there, one of the best in goals against. So, you know, we're playing both ends of the ice with and without the puck, you know, really well. We got to make sure that obviously we got to focus on the attention to detail on how to get it done, and obviously we firmly believe it's defense first, which creates offense, and that's falling into a recipe for success for us. So I think it's one of those things on making sure that our details on all parts of our game are sharp.
It feels like this bye is coming at a good time, especially after Matt Kierstead wasn't available this weekend and Gavin Heinert and Game Bast both were each bagged up on Saturday night. What can you tell us about the status of those three moving forward?
Yeah, well, first of all, with Matt Kierstead, it was one of those things where he stayed out of the lineup just to make sure that, you know, for long-term reasons, we think that, you know, he'll be available for Denver and for the rest of the year here, and we didn't want to jeopardize kind of the long-term focus of our group here, just for the short-term result. The other part is Gavin Heinert here. We got to go through a couple more X-rays and different evaluations just to make sure that, you know, it's going the right way for him. So we'll have to get more information on him. And then finally with Gabe Bast, you know, he just got dinged up a little bit, and he'll be fine through this week of practice and ready for Denver.
Well, good to hear about Gabe for sure. Other than the usual rest and recovery, how does the bye week shape up for you and for this team this year?
Yeah, it comes at a good time. You know, everybody always says, well, you swept, you want to keep going. But I think there's a couple things that come in. We do have some guys that need, you know, just a few days here to get back to full health. And the other part is the mental side of it too. Just taking a deep breath real quickly here before we make the final push. We got 8 games of the regular season. We got postseason play. We want to play in that final game on April 11th in Detroit, Michigan, and we're going to make a long, hard push for that. But part of that is making sure that we have a full tank of gas and getting a physical and mental reprieve here a little bit this week.
Well, this is the last break before you embark on what we all believe is going to be an extended stretch run for this group. Enjoy the calm before the race to the finish, Brad. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks a lot, Alex. Have a great week.
You too, Brad.